Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Equestria at War with the Dread League episode 2 with our series here. We're going to go ahead and unpause. We're still waiting for some of our units to build up, and actually we'll pause it real quick because now we can modify the government. So there's a couple of different options we can go here. Obviously we want to go with the option that's going to help us out with an early war with the Acterian Order. And so that would be taking something like, it would probably end up being something like this. The army offense that gives us a division of attack of plus 10%, AI modifier focus on offense plus 10%. There's also a couple here. We could do infantry division attack defense, which isn't bad. Army regrouping gives us division recovery rate or the entrenchment speed. Entrenchment's not all that bad because we're probably going to be playing a lot of defense. They've got the forts there and it's really hard. You kind of got to wait for a successful pocket to break through those forts. But I think I'm going to go with the attack in the defense. I think it's going to help us out the most with an early war. That's probably going to be the first guy I get to pick before we actually start the war. Almost for certain. So, okay, go ahead and pause it. We've got the Society of Bones. So, the decrepit path of death. Oh my god, I can't... Fortuous, the haggard leader of the society, exclaimed. I butchered that, I'm pretty sure. He was a tall lich whose flesh was almost non-existent. Clearly, he was an old lich, bespoke in a modern dialect, evidently not as old as you initially thought him to be. My queen, we must escort you to the focal chamber. It is the center of all necromantic energies in Magehold, he said, whilst walking towards the entrance of the Dread Council building. He led you down a long and winding path to the lowest point of the undead city. The lower you got, the more stank of death and decay. Bodies started to pile up and flies started to become a common occurrence. As the decay of warm bodies ready for resurrection has done away with the cold normally experienced by such a northern location. By the way, I just want to paint the picture that these are not just regular bodies. These are bodies of ponies from the My Little Pony universe. So just paint that picture. Just let it sit in your mind. Not much further, my queen. You either get used to the smell or you lose it. The lich informed, apologetically approaching the precipice of two large doors. They were decorated in large bones and a skull which belonged to a dragon, marked with scars long worn by the humid environment. The lich murmured something undecipherable towards the door. The eyes of the dragon glow and the doors open. They reveal a large interior with a deep chamber. The dead center of the structure hummed with necromantic energies that made the hairs of living beings stand on end. A long spiral staircase descended towards the bottom of the massive chamber, decorated in shiny bonny metal. Here it is, Queen Rosa Maledicta, the heart of the Society of Bones. We hope it serves you just as it has served us, the lich said, walking inside before you. It will serve me perfectly. Nice. So now we get the population modifier, which is great. We can go with weak of the flesh or work them to the bone. That gives us 2 military factories, which is really good. Or we get this, which is recruitable population 5%. I mean, both of these are great, but I really want to get the 2 military factories because if we're going to turn over muskets and try to convert really quickly so we can out-tech the Acterian Order, we're going to need extra military factories to do that. And we haven't even been able to keep up with this, so... it's only a matter of time before these guys... Yeah, they're going for the bell tolls. So it's only a matter of time now before they get the new... unit. Which is not good. Let's go ahead and quickly... Let's change this to something else. I don't think the Heart Army is really what I want. We definitely want something that signifies death and destruction. Actually, yeah, the Heart Army, that signifies death and destruction. We'll go ahead and pick that. Why don't we go with like red or something? It seems a little more fitting. I like it. A little more kind of Dread League, evil, etc., etc. It is wintertime too, right? Yeah, we're moving into winter, so this really is the best time for us to attack. Could you get on the border, please? We're going to need you guys. The planning process is going through. Really want to be able to actually get that national focus so we can get a field marshal. We've almost got worked them to the bone, and then I'll probably jump to that real quick. Go with the Army of Dread. Takes 70 days, and we get a field marshal out of it, and then we'll be ready to attack. Now with the 2 additional military factories, we're producing 18 instead of, well, 14, so that's pretty nice. We should see this start really catching up, and we could probably even add another unit to this and let these kind of build themselves out a little bit more. We're almost ready. We're almost ready to do the attack. I just want to have my field marshal before we do it. What are they working on? Okay, they're still working on the bell tolls in the matter of succession, so we're almost ready to do this. Oh, we've got 50 more days. Do I want to pick something else up meanwhile? 40 more days, I'm sorry. We're not going to have enough political power to do it. We're not going to have muskets in time. Oh, okay. This is a really big event. I said I wouldn't read all of these, but I got to read this one. The world is in shock today as King Sombra returned from his exile to retake the throne of the Crystal Empire. Some ponies who managed to save themselves and flee Crystal City report that his followers attacked in mass, turning against the guards. A fight for the city and its palace quickly ensued, with the Crystal Ponies, or which the Crystal Ponies stood little chance at winning. Princess Miamor Cadinza and Prince Shining Armor were evacuated shortly before the palace, and with it the city fell to Sombra and his followers. Although the royal couple has pledged to fight the emerging darkness, they have sent their daughter, the royal heir Flurryheart, to Equestria in case the worst will come to pass. Rumors are spreading that the Crystal Heart is shattered, but there's no confirmation on this yet. What will this mean for Equestria and the world? So essentially, there's this, and it sometimes fires, sometimes it doesn't, or sometimes it fires and it wins, or sometimes it fires and it loses. But essentially, King Sombra, who is this guy here, he's this really cool, badass person, essentially. And he'll like rise up, and it fractures the Crystal Empire, and they break down into a civil war. And this is important because this guy's actually, I believe he leans more fascist, so he's a little bit more aligned with us. Yeah, he's a little bit more aligned with us, but he's also a little bit more aligned with people like the Changelings. So this creates, if he ends up winning this war, then this tips the scales between the Changelings, which are fascist, and the Crystal Empire, which can go fascist, and then it'll be Equestria and the Kingdom of Olenia, and then this eventually turns into like a massive war over here. But yeah, King Sombra coming back is usually a pretty big deal. Says Sombra's origins are as mysterious as the mere mention of his name is unsettling. Whatever memories of his past have long been forgotten, perhaps even by himself. What is known of him and his rule over the Crystal Empire paints a grim picture. As king, he enslaved and tortured his own subjects to further his powers. He was only stopped when he was banished by Princess Celestia and Luna over 1,000 years ago, along with his empire. When he returned, Sombra had become an a material creature of shadow and threatened to take over the Crystal Empire once more, were it not for the combined efforts of Princess Cadence and the bearers of the elements of harmony. His form might have been gone, but his essence remained. This pony might not be the Sombra of the past, but he is just as cruel and tyrannical as the tales describe. One thing is sure, the king is back. So that's really cool, I think, and we'll see how that war pans out. The Dread League wants to kill everybody, but I mean, we're more fascist, and King Sombra's evil, so he kind of more aligns with us. So better to have him win than not win. Now, I wanted to look at the research. 70 more days, and we've almost got our field marshal. So once the research is done and we've got muskets turning over, then we're going to go to war. We're very close. They're close to finishing their national focus, so I want to get the jump on them if possible. Before they figure all of that out. They're definitely going to fire with the succession before we get that, aren't they? Maybe not. Okay, we've got the Army of Dread. Let's queue up the next one first before we do anything. We get a political power of plus 100, which would help us pick another leader. We get some more bonuses. We get base war support of plus 40%. We gain 1 research slot. Ooh, that one's like really, really good. But if we jump up here, we grab Weak as the Flesh. That gives us a larger recruitable population. We still have these ones we could go for too. This would lower the research time. I don't think that's going to help us as much. This would get us a production efficiency base of plus 10%. I'm not as concerned about both of these. I think... Let's see. We can't get these though. We got to get Advanced Skeleton Adaptation or Bound by Blood. So we've got to get this first. So we're either going for the weak is the flesh recruitable population or the research grant. I think I'm going to go with weak is the flesh. That'll give us more recruitable. That's going to be the most, like, the research time's not going to make much of a difference, and it's definitely not going to make much of a difference in the war, but the recruitable population can make a difference. So that's going to be the most useful. We've almost got these guys here. This one's still training up. We're still 1.1k in the hole, but we're getting there. And 47 more days. 980%, see? So minus 50% is not bad, but in the grand scheme of things, you're not changing anything. Nice. We got 13 units. Oh, we should have our field marshal too. I almost forgot. So we've got Helen von Moltke or Mutke. Because a mass entrenchment of plus 30%. That's going to be really, really good for us. Unfortunately, I much would have rather have had it be somebody else, but I could swap this over to General Skelenor. It might not be a bad idea then. Army reassignment duration, infantry leader experience, infantry division defense, winter attrition, cold acclimation, and another trait. We go with infantry expert or ambusher. Infantry division attack. Yeah, we're going to swap to her. And then keep you reinforcement rate or charismatic. Gonna go with charismatic. It's pretty good. Oh, we need 15. We almost got it. We're gonna tick over here. There we go. Charismatic. Okay. Perfect. So that gives us all that there, and we've got the planning going on. Let's redo this underneath our field marshal. I like the offensive line here, and let that planning go ahead. Do that, and 16 more days. How is this going? They are going to hit it about the same time. I think they still got to pick somebody afterwards, so we still got some time. Then we'll have the recruitable population. We're not going to have muskets immediately. These guys are still going to have melee weapons because that's what they're equipped with. But we can start transferring the muskets over and kind of start cycling those out. It's going to make the most sense to do that. For research, I believe next, it's either support equipment or pre-industrial artillery. Those are our only options. The support equipment takes extra special long, but it is nice to get. But I think I'm going to go with the pre-industrial artillery. It just doesn't take as long, and we can throw some artillery in our army and get it rolling. Even though we're even farther out from our civilian factory than we were. Whatever. Okay, I'm going to cancel that guy now because we just don't have the equipment to flesh that out. Let these two keep building, and then we'll start switching over to muskets eventually, but I can't let that happen just yet. We're not in a position to do that because we've got to keep making more units. Let me see here. So with the darkening of the room, followed by a loud hiss and a rush of air, the Coven representatives left the council chambers. The Coven. It is a shame. Which one's that? The Blood Coven. Yeah, it is a shame to see them go, but choosing the Society of Bones over them was something they couldn't stand with. The departure means that the most vampiric denizens of the Magehold will have fled. The biggest drawback, however, is the loss of the Covenants themselves. You cannot field an army of vampires to do your bidding. You must rely on the necromantic spells and the magic of the Society from this point forward. Yeah, and then it basically says, let us hope that they do not plan revenge. Some older vampires can keep a grudge that lasts for hundreds of years. We must pray that they are more understanding over this choice. As such pathetic creatures, we lose political power for that. That definitely sucks, because I think that they're going to come back eventually, but I don't know because I haven't made it that far. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go to war with the Actarian Order. They're working on questions the Dread League. Oh, interesting. Dealing with the devil. Okay. So they actually didn't... They haven't made it yet. Looks like they're heading towards favor of the Senate. I'm gonna go to war with them. Or justify a war. Gore. Retake core states. Oh, I guess we can't just yet. We gotta wait till... That's weird. I'm pretty sure I got to do this before. I'm not sure what I've done different. Alright, we're going to have to keep working on these then. We don't actually get the option to go to war with them just yet anyways. Okay, that's no big deal then. We'll just hold off and wait till we get it. We should be heading that way anyways. Order amongst the dead, division, organization... We could take the minus 50% now if we wanted to. Start putting cannons in our army. Division organization's not bad either. Let's go for the 50%. Get that out of the way, because it does go down eventually. Get game based stability. You get a bunch of political power. Then you get the a bunch of stuff for helping out with supply, training time, stuff like that. So it's pretty useful to pick up and take. I may close out those guys. I'm probably going to pause these here in a second. I want to let these units kind of flesh out a little better. And hopefully let the muskets start bleeding off into here so we can start replacing some of this. We are actually replacing some already, but I want to get a lot of it replaced. We're going to need the muskets. You're not going to be fighting these guys without them. They're working on industrial policy. They're actually taking a long time to get down. I could probably just rush going for... going to war with them. If I go right down to here, I know that will definitely get war started. So let's go with Order Amongst the Dead next. For modifying the government now, division recovery or entrenchment speed, or I grab the army offense. I think I'm going to go for that. And then, how's research looking now? 340, we're down, we're plus 930%. Nice. How is King Sombra doing? Not too good. He's not doing too good. It's a rough war going on. Technological expansion. He's got Crystal City though, so I think he spawns with Crystal City. But these guys, I don't know, it's back and forth. It'll all depend on whether or not, if the war goes on for too long, then Equestria usually joins in and stops the war. So it just all depends on how long that goes on for. We'll keep popping in and seeing kind of where it goes. We may have cannons, but we're not going to have the factories to field them. So it won't do a whole lot of good. Okay, we got Order Amongst the Dead. That gives us a couple of different things. We do have the Ghoul Education Program, Society of Bones 3, monthly population plus 40%, recruitable population 5%, division organization plus 25%. Working our way down, we can get the Advanced Skeleton Adaptations, gains us Defense plus 20%, which would be pretty good. Armored Skeletons gives us an infantry division defense. That would drop us right down to a marching army. Gives us division organization. Down here you actually end up getting kamikaze strike aircraft, which isn't that great, honestly, but you got to grab it to get down here. So it's really just how it goes. But we'll grab that up, I guess. Just kind of work our way left and right down. Thinking I'm not going to cancel these units because we've got the 5% recruitable population and everything. We're not keeping up with the infantry equipment, but it is going up. Should see them. It won't be as bad once we swap out all these medieval weapons. Which we should be stockpiling, are we not? I guess we haven't unequipped. Oh, we are stockpiling them, but they're going to creating these divisions here. As they would, because we haven't set them to not. So let me edit the skeleton soldiers real quick. Their equipment, I only want them using muskets now. This is going to kind of hurt us, but let's just take it for what it is. Oh, alright, that'll see the end of that division. I don't think I want to cancel it. Stalingrad, okay, not really, doesn't really concern us. Let's just get rid of the one. For now. We'll get another back later. How are we doing? 14 to 17. We need to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. That's not gonna work for us. Still, seal closed the gates of Tarpeian. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Now we're really hurting. But we are collecting the medieval melee weapons. I'm not going to get rid of these. We're just going to store them for now until eventually we're not using any, but our divisions are using them. So we'll keep them there. I may keep training one division that uses them, but I'll hold off and wait. In fact, what we should do... You know what actually makes more sense? We should just make divisions. This division should still be... If we keep making divisions that use medieval weapons... Let's see, why don't you get on the line here, boy? Or not. If we keep making divisions with melee weapons, then we can cycle all these over to muskets first, then start stockpiling melee weapons, then switch. That would probably make the most sense, right? But I've already spent army experience to switch them over, and I'm best to probably not switch them back and waste experience doing that. So we just won't worry about it. Let's just let this cycle through and build up our army that way. We'll start stockpiling. We're already stockpiling a bunch of these. They're kind of going in and out as these guys grab them. Oh, Equestria having some difficulties. Okay. King Sombra's losing, but the Changeling is going to war. Nice. Oh, and something happened here. The Olenian Reich. I don't even know who that is. They've switched. Sacrifices. Holy crap. They've gone like almost fascist. Wow. Well, they have gone fascist. How the heck did that happen? I missed something. Well, that's kind of cool. They must be going down a different tree. Holy crap. That I've never seen before. The True Queen, the Great Strike. Storm government offices, Stalingrad support. They might be going, I think they're going fascist though. Matter of the monarchy, the holy coup, purge of the heretics. Yeah, they're totally going fascist. Requires crush the resistance. Matter of the monarchy. Current ruling party is fascist, is not in a civil war. Sacrifices to Uko. Current ruling party. So they're fascist and the changelings still went to war with them. Dread from the sea. The old ways. The great holy war. So that's gonna... That kind of sucks. Because that could have been an ally for the changelings, but now the changelings are going to try to absorb them, and probably will absorb them. We've got advanced skeleton adaptations. We're working our way still down. We can go for army skeletons. A monthly population plus 50%. I'm actually going to go for that. They haven't still gotten a leader, which is crazy. I really wish I could take one of these. Oh! What the heck is this? I don't think I've seen this. Marriage of King Sombra and Radiant Hope. Recent news from the Crystal Palace says that King Sombra of the Crystal Empire has married his longtime lover, Princess Radiant Hope. The streets of the Crystal City were lined with celebrators, diplomats from many nations, and media both foreign and domestic. For many, Radiant Hope is seen as just that to her people, and even now, a movie is in production to tell her life story. Though they will never be able to say it publicly, many Crystal citizens hope that the new queen will be able to tame many of her husband's darker impulses. For many outside the Empire, though, the new queen is a mystery, save for the fact that she was the ringleader of the plot to bring Sombra back to life. Oh, that mystery was largely dispelled, though, when the king himself took the stand at the reception to talk about his new wife and how they first met. Interesting. King Sombra getting married. It's still at war. Not a whole lot happening, though. Boy, the changelings, though. It's back and forth, but the changelings will win that. They just will. And this is kind of stalled to a halt, so I guess we'll see where that goes. And Equestria is going for... What do they got? What are they going for? Canterlot? Canterlot Center of Research. Oh, so they're actually going for a lot of research bonuses. Interesting. Okay, perfect. So we're going to leave it off here since we're out of time. We'll have to see what happens with the changelings and the whole King Sombra event for the next one. But yeah, unfortunately we couldn't go to war. I wasn't aware. Maybe that changed. It was a while I last played the Dread League. It probably didn't change. I probably just was later off in the game than I thought. I thought you could hit him quick before they got a leader, but I guess not. No matter though, we'll keep working our way down. We're not that far off. Once you get down to here, that's when it really starts kicking off, and then we can go to war. I'm kind of rushing that right now. I want to hit the Ecterian Order before they get any stronger. Before, when I did my playthrough, or I didn't do a playthrough, but when I played it myself, I ended up going with a lot more of these over here and these over here, and then kind of picking at this over here, and I went back and forth. And that's probably why it felt like I was able to attack them a lot quicker. Who knows? But perfect, and I think we'll be using some of our political power next time too. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I do hope that you've enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you next time.